talk about personal gnosis and the importance of personal gnosis. So starting off with a story, there was once this yogi living near the Himalayas who was raising a young boy to be a sage, to reach enlightenment, to reach moksha. And the boy had never seen a cow before. He had lived in, he lived near the mountains. He had never lived in the plains. And his father, his master really, told him all the wonders, in the plains and the cities, and he told him of cows. And he said, he described how they looked, and he also described what they produced, milk, which is very nutritious for you, very good for you. And after talking about that, a couple of days later, the boy asked if he could go to one of these villages, and his master said yes. The boy went to the village, and he saw a cow. He's like, oh, that's the cow that my master was speaking of. And then he went a few more paces, and he saw this bucket of white liquid right next to a wall. And he's like, oh, that's the milk that's so good for you that my master was speaking about. And so he picked up the vessel and he downed a lot of this, what he thought was milk. So after drinking quite a bit of this milk, he got very sick and he had to be taken to the hospital. The villagers were so nice that they took him and didn't ask for anything in return. So when he got to the hospital, they pumped his stomach and they told him that he had drinking a whole bunch of whitewash, which is used to whiten the sides of buildings, and that had made him very sick. So he, after he got released from the hospital, he went back to his master and he was very angry. He thought about beating him up, and he said, what you told me about milk was incorrect. It made me sick. It made me almost die. I had to go to the hospital. And he said, did you milk the cow yourself? He said, no. And he said, just like wisdom, it must be experiential in order to be personally valuable. You must experience it, not just read it from books, not just hear about it. You must experience it in order for it to be beneficial to you. Just like you have to milk the cow in order to get the milk. So there's a lot of rituals that people sell in books. There's a lot of rituals that people say that they can do for you, that can do a lot of good. Some of these rituals for sale can be beneficial, but true wisdom and true power always comes from experiential, progressive, and personal knowledge and practice. Personal gnosis is the only way to true power, to true understanding, and true wisdom. So I would highly recommend making your own rituals. You take the basics, but doing somebody else's rituals, reading from other people's books, without learning the significance of these rituals and learning their connection to everything else, it becomes hollow. And you might be able to find milk eventually, but unless you milk the cow yourself, that's where you get the true nutrition. It's where you get the true power, the true knowledge. Personal gnosis is the most valuable thing. Not book knowledge, not even being able to read that book knowledge. Experiencing that knowledge by working towards it, by learning from the ground up, forming a foundation, and then working your way into a place where you know all the elements and you can make your own rituals. You can learn your own lessons. That's personal gnosis, and that is the value of personal gnosis. Thank you very much for watching, and hope all of you have a wonderful day.